Police Academy. I've been part of the TAC staff for 3 years. I've been working for the County of Los Angeles. I have 9 years of law enforcement experience. And I have a multitude of collateral duties that I've done in the past 9 years, lots of opportunities. Rio Hondo Police Academy, what makes our academy unique, I don't know if you've heard about Golden West or Southwest College. They also run academies. Is that the cadets that attend this academy here, they also get college units to apply towards a degree. We run 2 different types of programs. We run a basic program that's 22 weeks long, and it's full-time during the day. And we run an extended basic program. And what extended basic means is that it's a year-long program versus 22 weeks. And it's done in the evening. It's done on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday and Sunday. And as they get closer to graduating, they're here more. They're here on Mondays, they're here on Fridays, they're here Monday through Sunday. So that's why it's an extended basic, because most of the people that come in the evening, they're older adults and they're supporting their families by working full-time jobs during the day. Here at this academy, it's considered a high-stress academy, and we've been holding the rank of #2 as far as academy ratings go, recognized through the Peace Officer Standards of Commission and Training, and we're proud of holding that title. We put stress on the cadets that come here, but we produce good police officers. And it's not just about us getting in your face and yelling at you and telling you, you're not worth anything. On the contrary, we put the stress on you to make you a better person, to be able to handle stressful situations as peace officers. And in that process, we as TAC officers also mentor you and we counsel you. Each TAC officer is assigned, depending on how large the class is, approximately 4 to, I've seen as many as 8 cadets. And it's our responsibility to counsel those cadets and on a one-on-one basis, meaning that if they're having problems at home with their families, they're to come to us, because we don't want them to fail out of the academy. Now, cadets fail out of the academy on themselves if they're not passing scenarios or they're not passing the academics. Our academic portion of the academy, they're given what's called learning domains. And in those learning domains, they're given books. Well, they're now on a CD. They study those books, and they're also given instruction by instructors. And with that instruction, they study, and then the following week there's an exam. If they're not taking tests, they're learning. If they're not learning, they're doing prac-app. It means practical application. If practical application is not happening, then we're PTing. And we have an excellent PT program here. In fact, we have something that's called a pre-academy fitness program. It's a 12-week program, and you also get college credit for that as well. And what that program does is it's designed to prepare you for a career in law enforcement. Now, this program here, from the less than a minute that I've seen, from the moment you guys were here on the grinder to being here in this classroom, you already have a good solid base. If, in fact, this is something that you choose to do, pursue a career in law enforcement. It requires a lot of structure, a lot of discipline, because you're going to be receiving constant constructive criticism, not just here at the academy, but in your law enforcement careers. You're going to be going through a field training program, and in that field training program, you're going to be assigned a field training officer. And that field training officer is going to be on you, because it's that field training officer's responsibility, he or she, to make sure that you're able to function as a police officer in a patrol vehicle on your own. And from the field training program, you go through a probationary period with the department. And then in that probationary period, once you've passed it, when you're running and operating solo as a peace officer, you're going to be held accountable for your actions. You're out there. The one thing that I tell all the cadets that come through this academy is, if you ever aspire to be in law enforcement, if ever you desire to be a police officer, I would hope and pray that you don't have the aspirations of doing it for wearing a Sam Brown with a gun and a badge, because you think that status comes with that. Anybody that's in these shoes, that's being a police officer, is doing it to protect life and preserve property. That's first and foremost. You are a public servant. We're in the umbrella of public safety, and it is our responsibility to protect life and preserve property. That means going to house calls where there's domestic violence going on and listening to all the conversations that are happening and being calm and in control and talking to them and being able to relate to them. So just by a show of hands, how many of you have grown up in rough neighborhoods? Almost a majority of the class, like more than 90% of the class. I too came from that background. I came from not one rough neighborhood, but two, because I was transitioning from one parent to another. And I knew growing up as a child that that was not the life I wanted to live. I could have easily ended up in the shoes that my family's upbringing was involved in. But just in being a kid, I knew there was something different about me. Being a child, I knew I felt different around my surroundings. And as I got older and I started to mature, I realized that that lifestyle was not a lifestyle I wanted to be around. I wanted to do something with my life where I was making a difference in people's lives, impacting their lives, and giving them just a little bit of hope to know that you can achieve anything that you put your mind to. You can go out there and you can conquer the world as long as you do it the right way, as long as you don't fall into the paths that sometimes are kind of laid out for you. I grew up in, unfortunately, a gang environment, and I was succumbed to drugs, watching it being dealt, watching it being used as a little kid. That's not a good thing to see and witness. And grew up around domestic violence, and growing up in that kind of environment, you do not know that it's not normal until you start getting into education and you start learning through your teachers. And when you have guest speakers come, nurses and doctors and police officers coming and telling you and sharing with you what the real world is like. So then when we're out there, I just knew that I wanted to do something different. I got involved with this academy my 6th year into law enforcement. I was coming up here and watching the people that we were hiring for our department and counseling them and making sure that they were able to make it through.